Did you even hear that? That was such a light tap. That was better. Better. I'm hoping. I'm hoping so. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people from all over the world, welcome back to a journal entry by G here at the G Money Podcast. It is currently January 6, 2024. The world is spinning and we're standing still. For my New Year's resolution, I have no goal. I take it month by month. 365 days worth of a goal, that's a long time. My goal for the month of January is to not use social media. I'm 6 days in. I took off all the social media off my cell phone. And when I open my laptop, I'm trying not to type into the search web twitter.com. I have to have control of these hands because they're so used to opening Twitter, enter. So not only do I have to control my mind, I have to control these hands for 31 days. I'm 6 days in. However, I'm allowing myself to use YouTube because I spend a lot of time listening to YouTube videos and podcasts, and I don't want to take that away from me quite yet. I don't want to be completely engulfed in boredom. Okay, I need a little bit of entertainment. So, using YouTube, nothing else. I have absolutely no idea what's going on in the world. We could be in World War III right now. As we speak, I would have absolutely no idea. It's a pretty refreshing feeling, going through life aimlessly with no information coming at you. I'd like to be able to do this long term, but Twitter's so fun. Instagram, I could probably do without Instagram. But Twitter, the amount of information that comes at you, so fun to waste 1 hour of your day searching through your feed on Twitter. Now the habit I've created is opening my phone and going to YouTube as if like I'm going to get information via YouTube. So I just spend my time watching YouTube videos. Well, what's your guys' New Year's resolution or your January resolution? You got anything going on? I'm trying to keep it low stress here. Okay. One of my thought processes in the last 32 years was I observe people that have made it to the pinnacle of their career and you could deem them as successful. However, their personal life and their home life is in shambles. So why would we strive for excellence if we are deteriorating everything that we come home to? We can take a new approach to this. We can strive for peace of mind and quantify that as success. Does it have to be a material attainment of some sort to say that we're successful? What if just having just quiet moments or having just a solid home life or having low stress is really the best thing that you can do in life? The more money you obtain, the more responsibilities you have, the more you have to fight to keep that money, the more stress you have. The bigger the house gets, the more overhead you have. The bigger the car gets, the more gas you have to put into it. It just seems like the further we go towards money, which I do have a goal of obtaining quite a large amount of money someday, but I don't want to sacrifice my well-being in the meantime. Sometimes you just build it too big. You gain all that money, you get the car you want, you get the house you want, then there's no scaling back at that point. You have to spend the rest of your life figuring out how to sustain the overhead that you have built chasing the money. I can feel a pivot coming here in society where we refocus our desires and our goals to something more sustainable. We're never going to reach the perfect amount of money and the perfect amount of happiness. It's always one step ahead, one step further, one step further, one step further. To me, let's take a step back. Let's go the opposite direction. If our economy and our society is built towards obtainment of material goods, why don't we go in the opposite direction and get rid of all the material goods and see what happens? I don't see a resolution continuing to strive towards success. Man, that sounds brutal. That sounds brutal, but that's what's coming from my heart. I have to make sure that I'm speaking. I also have a stuffy nose here. The whole entire country is sick. Sore throat, stuffy nose. I can barely speak. I can barely hear myself speak to you. Everything's clogged up. It's all a clog zone happening right now. Anyway, is anybody out there? Am I talking to anybody? There was a point in time in the G Money podcast where I'd have at least 17 people live viewing. I uploaded a video about a month ago, and it's got 3 views on YouTube. But guess what? I don't care. It's not about the views. Again, this is what I'm talking about. The whole system is set up for views and clicks and attention. You get 1,000 views, you want 10,000 views. You get 10,000 views, you want 100,000 views. You start to sacrifice your product in order to get clicks. Forget the clicks. Let's go back to reality. Let's go back to purpose. Why am I making these videos? I make these videos because I like to do it. When I think back in my childhood, my grandfather gave me a camera when I was like 9 years old as a gift. My grandfather was well ahead of his time. He gave me a camera and I love to make videos. I've directed maybe 15 to 30 videos throughout my lifespan. And I never thought to myself that I would be doing this as a 32-year-old man with a camera in front of me as a dad. You think by now I'd get away from the childish games of video of playing director. But what's in you is in you. The thing that you want to do at a young age, I'm assuming you still want to do now. What I'm trying to tell you is don't let other people's opinion or the opinion or expectations of the world around us pull you away from the things that you wanted to do in your life. We got to go back to being kids. We got to slow everything down. Less is more has been something I've been talking about on this channel for a long time. What happens if we scale everything back and we bring everything back into the home and we slow down time and we don't focus on production? What ultimately are we doing when we're producing? We're fueling the economy. But what's the end goal for us? You make a difference. You stress and you spend so much time to make a difference. But the difference that you're making is just a blip on the radar. Is it worth it? Again, to some people, this sounds crazy, but I just have to continue to speak my mind on this. We have to we have to shrink the difference that we want to make. How how can you justify making a difference in your job when you go home or you barely even go home? The more money you make to sustain your family, the less time you are to be there with your family. Please explain how that makes sense. Is there anybody out there that looks at their expenses and thinks, how little money could I survive on to make ends meet? And I think you'd be surprised how much you can subtract and still have similar day-to-day operations. So going back to no social media, it's been pretty nice. It's been pretty nice not to have all that information at your fingertips. I like being in the unknown. I feel like the things that are important enough to find me will find me. Like the Epstein client list. That is the perfect time. The release of that list is the perfect time to be on social media. But I got off of social media. The list somehow found me. And it really didn't make a difference. And it's not going to make a difference in the world. That's what I'm telling you. Our leaders, our presidents could be pedophiles. And there's no justice. The whole thing is chaos. We think that these minuscule details matter, and we spend so much time and so much effort on production and advancement. Meanwhile, our entire economy is in trillions of debt. Our leaders are pedophiles. We're having 3 or 4 powerful people dictate when we're going to go to war and who we're going to go to war with. Scale everything back. Bring everything back to the home. Focus on 3 to 4 people in your life. Get back all the time. Get back all the stress. We're going to continue to be stressed out the more we look for production. We're going to be stressed out to the point where we're dropping dead, and you're already seeing it. For what? Like, don't be so scared that you have to make so much money that your family will not survive unless you make X amount of dollars. Okay. You're scared your family's not going to survive if you don't make it that much money. Then you go and chase the money. And meanwhile, your kids are not able to see their father. So you're sacrificing their survival by not being home with them. This is the song I'm singing right now. This may change in the future, but this is always something deep down in my soul that I thought of. And it's hard for me to come forth with this information because the expectations is to build, to strain, to work hard. And I am a hard worker, but I am losing the purpose. If someone can explain to me what the point is of straining and almost being you're celebrated for working 60 hours a week. For what? I guarantee your family will survive if you work 40 hours a week and spend more time with them. So that the entire society doesn't end up in divorce and disease and stress and addiction. take a second to think what you're compromising and scale it back. Don't be afraid to scale it back and try it. If you deem that you scale back your material things, the amount of work you do on a day-to-day basis, and you deem that your life is less happy and your family is less off because of that, disregard what I say and go back to work. But for a moment, think about what it would be like if your family just has the basic necessities, but has so much joy and love and time. The struggle of less may be worth it. There's a man named Terence McKenna. He's an old philosopher. He's not old. He died in 2000. He thinks the universe wants to move towards complexity. The universe has a conscience. It wants to see how far into chaos it can go. So it somehow created the solar system and somehow created Earth and then made living organisms and then wanted to further complex the situation and made humans. And here we are in 2024 and we got AI coming on board now. And the advancements of technology and the exploration of space, we're further complexing the society and the world and the universe. And it wants to do that. This is very similar to the woo. The woo wants to advance into the future. The universe is going to do that without our help. So I am saying to slow down, to fight against it. We cannot enable it anymore, this advancement. We cannot enable the advancement anymore. When you think about life from that perspective, that we are just here to further complexify everything, we're fueling it. That's why that's why we want to push so hard, because the universe wants us to do that. We have to go in the opposite direction. Did I lose you? Or do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe we can play some music to close this out. Man, I hope. Well, listen, if you think I'm crazy, that's fine. I have to get better with like being okay with being crazy. Cause I'm not crazy. I have intuition. Let's see what we got here on our music. Oh. Guess the song. I'm sure nobody expected. Guess the song. But that's what I do. You know me. 3, 2, 1. Here I come, just hold me back. Tired of holding back, I'm about to let the track. Get out my way. You weren't getting that. You were not going to get that. You think you were going to get that? Cisco Unleashed a Dragon? You got no chance. All right. What else? That's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to make videos for views. I'm going to make videos to get all this information off of my chest so that maybe 3 people could listen and understand what I'm saying. Hopefully I can get some entertainment and some comic relief here involved, but I feel like a lot of the times these are just going to be deep conversations because that's where my mind is at all times. It's in the weeds. Okay. That's all I got. Thanks for listening. Over and out.